What's up, Chucky boys? We're getting straight down to business today. First step for making these cowboy burgers is we're gonna get our sausage cooking, all right? On a big old baking sheet like this, get yourself some aluminum, maybe some oil for the non-stick. You can see I'm gonna be using Boudin today because I like Boudin, but andouille sausage, Italian sausage, it's all gonna work just as well. We're gonna throw this in the oven here, 350 degrees, and no set amount of time. We're just gonna get it going until it's ready. Next up. All right, y'all, now we're gonna use this time while that sausage or Boudin, whatever you're using, is in the oven cooking. We're gonna start chopping up our other ingredients. We got some onion we gotta get processed, and we also gotta get some cheese going. We're also got a pan over here on the stove, heating up. We're gonna put some nice bacon in that, and I know my viewers, these 25 to 45-year-old men, love bacon. All right, we're gonna get this thing chopped down. We're looking for thin slices. We're gonna be caramelizing these, so we don't want nothing chunky. These are gonna be kind of our decoration on top of the burger when we're done, and we're gonna use some of that bacon grease to fry them up. Now, I do have one quick tip for you when you're cutting these onions. This is gonna go for any onion you're ever cutting. Today we got a yellow one. You're gonna wanna come straight down just off the side of this root right here, because that thing that makes you cry like a baby when you're cutting onions, all of that chemical is right inside of that root. So we're gonna set that to the side, get this chopped up, and we are gonna try and avoid cutting around this thing until the very end to make us cry the least amount as possible. Let's get it. This is that part that makes you cry. Like I was saying, leave it out. Nothing to cry about. That was nice. All right, we just finished cutting up all these onions here. We're gonna set those aside because we're still waiting on that bacon grease to get hot and ready for us. We haven't thrown the bacon in the pan, but for the time being, we're gonna get to chopping on this cheese. Now, I'm a big fan of Tillamook extra sharp cheddar. If you like sharp cheddar cheese or just cheddar cheese in general, I suggest giving them a shot. Now, for the cheese, what I suggest doing, this is what I have the best luck with. We take a couple of these flat pieces, stacking them up nice and easy. We get them in a stack here. We come straight down the side through all of them. And that's gonna give them this kind of stick together feature, right? Take some of these, break them up individually, and then we come down and chop them widthwise. And that's gonna give us these tiny little pieces of cheese right there. And that is gonna mix in really well, give us a nice even cheddaring through the burger. I'm gonna finish up this bacon, and we're gonna start mixing up this ground beef. All right, now I went ahead and I dropped the temperature down to a medium low. We got rid of some of that bacon grease. We kept a little bit of it. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna take these onions and we're gonna go straight into that bacon grease. The goal here is we're gonna get these a little bit caramelized. We're gonna get them cooked up, and these are gonna absorb some of that bacon flavor. Now, I've been keeping an eye on this Boudin in here, and I'm seeing it's starting to brown up, get a little crispy on the outside, and that means it's time to take it out. Set that down right there. And now we got to get these ready to be cut up, but right now they're a little too hot. If you try and cut them while they're hot, they just get all mushy. You crush them. So we're gonna let them cool down with the bacon, make sure that they're nice and crispy all the way through, and then we can cut them up into nice chunks. So we're gonna get that going right now. All right, y'all, now we've got our mixing bowl here. I've gone ahead and thrown in my ground beef already. Today I'm going for a mix of 80-20 and 90-10 ground beef. Usually you do want to get a more fatty mix, but because of the ingredients that we're gonna be using today, as well as some secret ingredient that I'll be adding later, is going to be helping keep some of that grease in, some of that flavor inside the burger. So we got our ground beef in here. Next up, we're going to add our chopped bacon as well as our Boudin. Again, you can use sausage if you like, andouille, Italian, whatever you're feeling, go ahead and get it done. We're going to mix these ingredients in one at a time, get them mixed through thoroughly just to ensure that we know that we have an equal amount of everything everywhere. We're gonna get in here with our hands, make sure you wash them, and let's get to it. Now we've got everything mixed in here thoroughly. You can see it's a pretty even distribution. Mixing it with your hands, you just wanna look at it, make sure you can see kind of an even breakdown of bacon, Boudin, whatever you're using in there. Now we're gonna get down to our seasonings. The seasonings, season it how you want it. You know what you like. I'm gonna be using some salt, pepper, some Tony's, and some chili powder here. Now last up here, this is that secret ingredient I was telling you about before that is gonna help with that grease retention. Why do we wanna retain this grease? That's the unhealthy part. It's unhealthy because it tastes good, all right? Last ingredient here, breadcrumbs, okay? Something I don't see a lot of people doing just because it is a little bit sideways, but I'm using some plain old breadcrumbs. I highly suggest you use this because what this is gonna do, it's gonna help keep the actual form of your burger when it's on the grill or on the stove. It's gonna keep its size and it's gonna keep its grease, which is the biggest part of this, because that grease is where all that flavor lies. So we get that breadcrumb in there, that's gonna help us. It's gonna result in a bigger, better burger, BBB, all right. Using this mixing method, making your own beef patties, your hands are gonna get covered in that beef fat. So it's important that you've got everything you're gonna be adding in. I had my bacon, my Boudin, my seasonings. I got my cheddar cheese right there in the bowl. You want it to be easily accessible where you're not covering everything that you use, all your utensils and such, in this beef fat. Now this bowl was dirty anyway, so I don't really care too much. We're gonna sprinkle some of this cheese in here. We're not doing the full bowl, just kind of enough to get it covered, get a good idea. We'll start with that. If we need more, we can add it. I promise you it's very difficult to pick these pieces of cheese out of the beef. All right, now once again, just like I said before, one ingredient at a time. Make sure it's mixed nice and evenly. We might add a little more cheese to this, and all this while I've been keeping an eye on those onions. They're getting nice and caramelized. Once we finish this up, we're gonna get that grill going. We're getting ready here to form this burger beef into burger patties. Okay, we don't want this sticking too much. We wanna really be able to pick this up really easy. So I'm gonna give this a light dusting of these breadcrumbs, okay? This is just gonna help these release off the aluminum foil. Once we're out at the grill, we do not wanna be fighting this aluminum foil. Oh shit, that's a lot more than I wanted, but it's okay. Shake that around a little bit, set it aside, and let's get this beef going. Now when it comes down to making these, I've got 8 burger buns. I don't want to have extra. I don't want that last burger to be half the size of the rest. I want a nice equal distribution. What I usually go for is a divide and conquer method. So I can feel how much beef I've got, cut down the middle right there, boom. So now I know this needs to make 4 patties. Do it again. Get this thing into a nice ball, all right? Divide right down the middle. Now each of these have to make 2. You see what I'm saying? Shape it into a ball, pinch it through, feel them? Those are pretty equal. So now we're gonna go ahead and form it. Smash it down, back and forth. I like my burger patties to be a little bit thicker than definitely a McDonald's quarter pounder with cheese, because there's no way that thing is a quarter pound. But flatten that thing out there, and that is gonna be a decent sized beef patty. Now when it comes to cooking these burgers up on the grill, I'm not going to sit here and tell you the best method because everybody likes their deal a little bit different. We're throwing these raw patties on. You're going to see here we got some good flames going. The way I did that, I used some hickory smoking chips, traditionally used for like brisket and whatnot, but I threw them on the hot coals. Gets a nice hot flame right up on the burger, gives it a good sear, a good crunch, and it also helps keep that grease inside, believe it or not, as long as you take them off in time. When we're plating this, you're going to hit that bottom bun, nice little toasted with some butter on there. Hit it with some mustard, that beef patty full of the cheese, bacon, and Boudin, those caramelized onions with the bacon grease. I like some pickles on mine. I hit it with the top bun, and this is the burger, y'all.